Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Lindstrom Air are the AC pros, keeping you cool when it matters most. Quality service on your plumbing too. Let Lindstrom take great care of you. Yeah, I love those guys.
Home means something different to everyone. But with Rocket Mortgage, home can mean even more. It can mean a college education, taming your high-interest debt, even a renovation. We've made it easier than ever to use your home equity. That home you worked so hard for, now it can work hard for you. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or on third-party delivery platform.
Ozempic, but in a pill, is now available from Future Health.
Future Health Weight Loss.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded. Touchdown Gators!
The home of Florida Gators football. Fox Sports 940 Miami. Now, your chance to win $1,000 in bonus bucks. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Happy. Happy. That's happy. Enter it now. FoxSports940.com. Number 1 on your car radio preset hand, the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WINCA in Miami. WMIB-FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good. Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports 940 Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
1-0 pitch. Stowers cracks that one out to center and deep. Siri is back. He looks up and it's gone. The Marlins waste no time. Kyle Stowers with a 2-run shot, and they take a 2-0 lead in the first.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck.
2-1. That kicks away from Rodriguez. Hill breaks for the plate. There will be no throw. And on a wild pitch, the Marlins walk it off again. 1-2. Conine lifts out to left field. Tommy Pham working back to the warning track. So is Sawinski. They look up and it's gone. Griffin Conine to left center. And we're tied at 2 in the 7th.
Marlins on deck. Brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins, and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
Well, great to have you with us on a Monday night. Nice job, Ahmed. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Live from Lone Depot Park in Miami on an 82-degree Monday night in Miami. Roof and walls are closed, so temp and winds will not play a factor. You're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio, Fox Sports 940 Miami. It's game 34 of 162, and the Marlins face a familiar foe tonight after getting swept by them in L.A. last week. Miami's hoping they got the recipe for a little Dodger revenge this time around, as Sandy Alcantara will be the head chef. Tonight, we bring you game 1 of a 3-game set between the 23-11 Los Angeles Dodgers and your 13-20 Miami Marlins. It'll be the second time Dave Roberts elects a bullpen game against the Marlins. A familiar face as well. Jack Dreyer, 26-year-old southpaw, who opened against the Marlins last Tuesday, gets the ball again. He will go opposite Sandy Alcantara, who's looking to find his footing. We've got a bunch of coverage on Sandy's end tonight in Marlins on Deck. He spoke to the media yesterday, made some changes to his routine. We'll hear that in just a couple of minutes. First pitch slated for 6:40 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Monday night with Jack McMullen and Rod Allen. I'm Steven Strom. Thanks for hanging out with us, and thanks for making us a good, really good start to your week. Marlins baseball plus Marlins on Deck. It's a good start to your Monday. Let's get you the lineup for the show tonight. We'll talk about where both teams are at. Clayton and Jack will preview game 1. We'll get you the count with Sandy and Dreyer. Ben Kasparius is going to be the individual that follows Dreyer tonight. So we'll break down both of those pitchers so we get you ahead of the cat on both ends. Jack and Rod, or actually just Jack. Rod's doing TV, doing the car wash today. So Jack will just join me for segment 4, Expo Question of the Day at Marlins Radio. And of course, Steve's guarantee to victory. So for the Dodgers, really not much has changed since last week or last year. They're 12 games over 500. The Dodgers, though, last night saw their 7-game win streak snapped on Sunday night with a 4-3 loss to the Braves. They are still hitting as a team 329 and averaging 8.5 runs per game over their last 8. They're top 3 in the majors in runs, home runs, OPS. And how about Shohei Ohtani will play his first game at Lone Depot Park since that historic game last September of the 19th, in which he went 6 for 6 with 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, and he also became the first player in Major League Baseball history to reach 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases. We mentioned it before, Jack Dreyer, he'll get the ball for the opener for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Tonight he faced the Marlins on Tuesday night, tossing 2 frames, a 1-run ball. But to follow, Ben Kasparius will get you out of the count with both of those guys in just a few minutes. For the Marlins, look, let's get down to brass tacks here. Tonight is about Sandy Alcantara, 2-3 with an 8 ERA. He lost to the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine last Tuesday, allowed 7 runs in 2 2/3. He retired just 8 of his 20 batters, and he is going to face this same team with a similar lineup here tonight. He will look to avoid losing 4 straight starts for the first time in his career. And tonight, I would say this, an individual might be bigger than the actual outcome to this game. If you can leave Lone Depot Park today saying, that's the Sandy we're used to, the organization wins. Now, in an uplifting note, Kyle Stowers was named NL Player of the Week after crushing 4 home runs and collecting 10 RBIs. He's the first Marlins position player since Starling Marte did it in 2021. No one more deserving than Kyle Stowers. The way he has started, he has pretty much carried this team from an offensive standpoint and has been the most consistent individual in this lineup for the Miami Marlins, doing it offensively, but also defensively as well. Stay put. Coming up next, Marlins manager Clayton McCullough sits down with Jack McMullen to get us ready and revved up for Game 1. It's the Dodgers, it's the Marlins right here on the Marlins Radio Network.
In the heart of Miami, there's an energy that runs through these streets. It connects us all. This is where South Florida comes together and the whole world is invited. A city where new horizons blend with retro flair. It's where transformation can happen overnight and championship stories unfold, past, present, and future. The love for baseball and the mix of cultures create a rhythm that's loud and proud. And this jersey is woven with the threads of our past, infused with the teal of our legacy and accents of pink like bright lights that paint an electric glow in the city where the party never ends. This gear is a symbol of who we are, bold and united. It's a blend of history and hope, tradition and innovation. Together, we'll take the field. Together, we'll write the next chapter.
Pitcher Anthony Banda. Now a southpaw Dreyer, his 0-1 pitch. That one is slashed up the gut and throw for a base hit. Dane stays hot. He plates Xavier Edwards from third base, and it's an RBI single. Fish on the board right away. 1-0 in the top of the first.
5-5 ball game, top of the 10th. Pitch on the way. Line drive, that's a base hit. Sanchez delivers. It's a gapper. He's rounding first. He'll get at least 2. It's kicked around in center field. Sanchez is going to try for third. Here's the relay, and it's not going to get there in time. Sanchez over to third base with an RBI hit, and the Marlins have the lead in the 10th.
You're out like Terminix.
Back here on a Monday night in Miami, Lone Depot Park, game one of this 3-game set. Final 3 games of this homestand for the Marlins before they head out to Chi to face off against the Chicago Cubs and Chicago White Sox. Sandy Alcantara will go opposite Jack Dreyer, who will open for the Dodgers. Ben Kasparius is going to follow Dreyer here tonight at Lone Depot Park. 6:40 first pitch. Jack McMullen and Rod Allen have your call. And as always, to get you ready for the series opener, here was Jack McMullen and Marlins manager Clayton McCullough.
All right, thank you, Stephen. Here with the Marlins skipper, Clayton McCullough. Before we get going, can I show you, we just recorded a Side Sessions podcast episode with Eric Wagaman. Stephen got a T-shirt for it, and I just want your reaction to this T-shirt. Can you hold it up and read what it says?
All right. I love it when my wife lets me watch Eric Wagaman. Wow. Response is, hey, sign too? I mean, that's big. You know, I guess that's when you know you've arrived, Tom. When you get a T-shirt and you're able to sign it and you're a fan favorite, good for Wags. Huh?
They found it online during the offseason, and that's just an unbelievable T-shirt. So I just wanted the manager's take on it. Hey, you're seeing your former team, right? You were the first base coach with the LA Dodgers last year. This is where the Marlins got you from. We saw him last week in Los Angeles. Does it feel a little bit more normal prepping for a second series with him?
I think it actually, believe it or not, it felt normal prepping for them last time, and saying hello and catching up. Where it was strange was actually when the game started, and now a lot of what you're accustomed to seeing it from a different vantage point, and so it was actually strange competing against them for like the first little bit, but the preparation part, it was we looked at it, tried to like it was another game, another series with how are we going to get our guys best ready for this to have some success. So other than just the strangeness of seeing and competing against people that you've spent a lot of time with, try to make it very much a similar type feeling.
It was a tough visit to Los Angeles. Are there overarching corrections that you can make second time seeing a team in the span of a week, or is it more of an individualized thing? Hey, here's what you got to do better.
I think a little bit of both. I think it was much going against their lineup, it's you just have to take your chances in the strike zone. I think it has been. They built a lot of the success there on their ability to discern ball from strike and be very disciplined in the strike zone. And what comes with that is some slug, but like that's okay. Like it's just being on the other side. But then teams that pitched around the strike zone had a tough time. So it's like what, go in there, take your shots in the strike zone. We have guys with really high quality stuff, and then you let the chips fall where they may.
Sandy going today, obviously really high-quality stuff. Felt like he was missing down a lot in that last start in Los Angeles, and, of course, roughed him up a little bit. What are you looking to see a little bit different from Sandy today?
I think it's like once Sandy's been good so far this year, like getting strike one. Like it's been good, and I think then it's some of the within the pitches, within the at-bat, just maybe trying to get out of some parts of the strike zone where I think he. When you say just execute, be a little bit, have the command tighten up a little bit, which we all believe it's going to come, and it will. And then continuing to trust and utilize his entire mix throughout a plate appearance to give him self the best chance to get the guys just keep him off balance some, keep him playing that front and back game, using his curveball and changeup along with his sinker and the ability to run the fort towards the top of the zone at times. So trying to access numerous parts of the strike zone. I believe that's going to lead not only success today, but moving forward with him.
We saw a couple of scratches in the lineup card this weekend as it pertained to Jesus Sanchez. How's Sanchez doing right now?
Yeah, doing fine. Just had some low pack tightness for a couple of days. Tried to get cranked up the other day, game 2 in that series, and just wasn't right. So felt better just another day. He was able to come off the bench, but I think he's okay now. So all good on that front.
With the skipper of the Marlins, Clayton McCullough, got one more for you. We're a couple days into the 3-catcher experiment. Nick playing today. You got Augustine and Liam getting the day off. How do you foresee just a week of Marlins baseball going, handling 3 catchers that I'm sure all 3 you want to get catcher reps as well?
Yeah, certainly. I think it's you kind of look at it in a individual case. Like we believe right now that Augustine, certainly the defensive improvement and the strides there, like this is the place where he can make those, and you're going to need to get reps behind the plate. Nick was off to a really good start, brings a lot on the defensive side of things, and he's been swinging the bat very well. And with Liam, just the chance to continue to work on his game too. I mean, I think there's areas stuff he can do in the weight room. There's things that he can do with our hitting coaches and with Joe Singley, our catching coach, to get those reps. And I things always sort themselves out, and I think that there will be, opportunity, starting games, coming into games for all these guys, and kind of at the forefront is trying to spread that out and also give us a chance to try to win as many games as we can.
Clayton McCullough's on the media tour, so we're going to let you go. Best of luck today.
All right, thank you guys.
Steven.
All right, good stuff right there with Jack McMullen and Marlins manager Clayton McCullough. Look, there's no sugarcoating this. Tonight's storyline is Sandy Alcantara, who comes into tonight with an 8 ERA and really struggled in Chavez Ravine last week. He gets to face his team again. One may say, good. He's a competitor. He wants to face his team. One may say, oh, no. But we will see here what happens with Sandy Alcantara, who has made a couple of tweaks. Coming up next, we will unveil what he did this week differently and something he has not done prior to a start in his career. We'll get you out of the count, plus that quote with Sandy Alcantara next on the Marlins Radio Network.
We're thinking, hey, maybe he can be a bullpen piece for us as Ramirez charges one out to left center field and deep. That thing is back, and it's gone! Agustin Ramirez, his second big league homer, and this guy's unbelievable start continues.
Slug of 1-1-2-5, hits one in the air deep to left field, and going nowhere is Arozarena as he looks up, and it's gone. Goodbye, home run. Ramirez has done it again. Arozarena just stood there. He moved 1 foot and stopped, as Ramirez this time goes to left field for his third homer and second of the game.
Yep, it felt like that was a chess match, and Thornton ended up winning it. But here goes Connor Norby out to left center and deep, and it's a one-run game. Connor Norby's first homer of the year makes it 7-6 in the eighth.
Bonda to the belt. Here's the pitch. Well hit ball, left center field and deep. Going back is Conforto. He's at the wall. It is gone. A grand slam home run for Dane Myers, pinch hitting. Here comes Sanchez. Wagaman hits the plate. Norby to follow. And hitting third and rounding home with a grand slam is Dane Myers, and the Marlins have suddenly scored 5 and have tied the game up in the 6th. 5-5 ball game, top of the 10th. Pitch on the way. Line drive, that's a base hit. Sanchez delivers. It's a gapper. He's rounding first. He'll get at least 2. It's kicked around in center field. Sanchez is going to try for third. Here's the relay, and it's not going to get there in time. Sanchez over to third base with an RBI hit, and the Marlins have the lead in the 10th.
Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
Well, thank you very much, Xavier Edwards. He, of course, will lead off and play shortstop here tonight. This is Marlins on Deck, Monday night in Miami. Roof and walls are closed here tonight. Sandy Alcantara will go opposite, I guess, technically, Jack Dreyer, who will open for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Ben Kasparius will follow. We'll get you ahead of the count. Now, Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, and Rod Allen. Those two have your call. Rod Allen doing the car wash today. He's doing TV pregame. So we will just have Jack McMullen on in the next segment discussing a plethora of subjects. But let's start with Sandy Alcantara here tonight. 29-year-old right-hander. We talked about it, 2-3 in ADRA, 26 innings pitched combined. He will face a team that roughed him up 6 days ago, 2 2/3 against this same Dodger team, 7 hits, 7 runs, 5 walks. However, for Sandy Alcantara, it led to some changes leading up to his start tonight.
After the game that I have in LA, me and my pitching coach, we watched a couple video and I was doing something different. But yesterday I was working on be more aggressive on the zone, throw more strike, be more focused on the runner on base. My arm was a little late. I watched the video and I see it. And there was something more than that. I'm not gonna say it, so it's a secret. I'm working on it, and I think I did a great job. Try to get better on it. Let's see what happens tomorrow.
Well, Sandy, your secret is safe with me, even though I don't know it. We will see. Interesting tactic from Sandy. I know that he has been so very frustrated, obviously, with the last couple of starts. Controlling the running game has been an issue. 11 stolen bases given up from Sandy Alcantara, which is the second most in baseball. But again, Clayton McCullough talked about it as well. It's a matter of time for Sandy Alcantara. hopefully he can put it together here tonight. He will go opposite, technically, Jack Dreyer. He will be the opener for the Dodgers, left-hander, making his second career big league start and his second against the Miami Marlins. He ranks third on the Dodgers in batting average against at 164, and he leads the majors among qualified rookies in appearances with 14. Now, the one that's going to follow Jack Dreyer is Ben Kasparius, 26-year-old right-hander, fifth-round pick in the 2021 draft from UConn. He debuted with the Dodgers on August 18th of last year and then showed up in a big moment. He threw 4 1/3 scoreless in the NLCS, got the win in that clinching 6th game. This year, 11 appearances, 1 start, 3-0, a 2.91 ERA, 21 2/3. This guy is another hidden gem that the Dodgers have found. All of his stuff grades out really well. So the Marlins will have their hands full with Ben Kasparius here tonight at Lone Depot Park. Again, Sandy Alcantara, Jack Dreyer will open. Ben Kasparius will take the bulk of this game for Dave Roberts' Los Angeles Dodgers. Let's break here. We got more Sandy Alcantara plus National League Player of the Week. I know you could probably guess, but we'll tease it coming up next on the Marlins Radio Network.
We're thinking, hey, maybe he can be a bullpen piece for us as Ramirez charges one out to left center field and deep. That thing is back, and it's gone! Agustin Ramirez, his second big league homer, and this guy's unbelievable start continues.
Slug of 1-1-2-5, hits one in the air deep to left field, and going nowhere is Arozarena as he looks up, and it's gone. Goodbye, home run. Ramirez has done it again. Arozarena just stood there. He moved 1 foot and stopped as Ramirez this time goes to left field for his 3rd homer and 2nd of the game.
Yep, it felt like that was a chess match, and Thornton ended up winning it. But here goes Connor Norby out to left center and deep, and it's a 1-run game. Connor Norby's first homer of the year makes it 7-6 in the 8th.
Bonda to the belt. Here's the pitch. Well hit ball, left center field and deep. Going back is Conforto. He's at the wall. It is gone. A grand slam home run for Dane Myers, pinch hitting. Here comes Sanchez. Wagaman hits the plate. Norby to follow. And hitting third and rounding home with a grand slam is Dane Myers, and the Marlins have suddenly scored 5 and have tied the game up in the 6th. 5-5 ball game, top of the 10th. Pitch on the way. Line drive, that's a base hit. Sanchez delivers. It's a gapper. He's rounding first. He'll get at least 2. It's kicked around in center field. Sanchez is going to try for third. Here's the relay, and it's not going to get there in time. Sanchez over to third base.
That I have in LA, me and my pitching coach, we watched a couple video and I was doing something different. But yesterday I was working on be more aggressive on the zone, throw more strike, be more focused on the runner on base. My arm was a little late. I watched the video and I see it. And there was something more than that. I don't want to say it, so it's a secret. I'm working on it and I think I did a great job, try to get better on it. Let's see what happens.
All right, well, let's see what happens today. That was Sandy Alcantara yesterday in his media availability, looking to bounce back not only against the Dodgers, but have a start that he can feel good about. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, Rod Allen, not with us now, but Jack is with us here in segment 4. And Jack, I was talking to you earlier today. Very rarely will I say this, that an individual almost feels bigger than the results. I said in the head of the count, if Sandy Alcantara pitches 6 innings, gives up less than 3 runs, let's just call it a quality start, you drive home tonight. Even if the score is 17-0, I would feel like this would be an organizational win for the Marlins just to get Sandy back on track, Jack.
Sure. Now, the good thing is the best version of Sandy to score won't be 17-0 unless there's this weird 17-run 9th inning, and that would be a whole nother mess
from the
of problems
bullpen.
there. Yeah, it would be a whole nother mess of problems. But Sandy, I think a quality start from him, and like you could literally call it a quality start, 6 innings or more, 3 runs or fewer. Or you could call it a quality start. Like, I want to see Sandy throw into the 7th inning today. I at least want to see him throw into the 6th today. And what that means is he's turning the lineup over a second time, and he's starting the process of turning a lineup over a third time. There's one guy in this rotation this year that we have seen be comfortable turning a lineup over the third time, and that's Max Meyer to this point.
Yep.
And Sandy won a Cy Young because he could turn over a lineup a third time in the start of the fourth time and finish games. He could finish the job that he started, and there are very few pitchers on the planet that can finish the job that they started. That's Sandy. We unfortunately haven't seen that version of Sandy yet this year. For me, I want to see confidence in the strike zone, but not over the heart of the plate. We were talking about that when he started in Los Angeles. He was over the heart of the plate too much, and that can be that aggression. But when he gets disincentivized from being over the heart of the plate, the misses can't be bad. And unfortunately, we've seen some 4-walk outings from Sandy Alcantara to this point. So I think a good start for Sandy today is confidence within the strike zone and working around the perimeter of the strike zone, not missing badly and not missing over the heart of the plate. And I think that could get him through 6 or 7 innings.
I think what's been mystifying about Sandy is there hasn't been one reason why, Jack. Like you just mentioned, location. We talked about the walk, something we haven't seen from Sandy. There's been weird reasons on why we feel Sandy has not lived up to what Sandy has done his entire career. Now, I printed off the splits for you in 2025 when it comes to the ball count strike, right? And really examining some of these numbers. What sticks out to you on this paper?
Yeah, I mean, the first pitch, right? Do you have the numbers in front of you? Could you rattle
I do.
off the
I
numbers?
thought you had them. Here, come over here.
No, all right. Yeah, let me grab that document here.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I printed 3 of them.
Yeah, no, we're good. I might have just displaced mine. But, okay, first pitch, right? First pitch, opponents are 5 for 10 against him with a homer. That jumps out to me. One of them that jumps out to me, after 1-0 versus after 0-1, that tells you all about count leverage that these guys are talking about, right? Getting ahead. What happens after Sandy gets ahead 0-1? Well, opponents are OPSing on base plus slug under 680. That is a below average hitter when Sandy gets ahead in the count. When he falls behind 1-0, so when he falls behind in the count, opponents turn that into a 797 OPS, which is a well above average hitter. But the number that jumps out to me the most is 0-2, actually. When Sandy Alcantara gets so far ahead and he has the entire toolbox to play with and he's ahead in the count, 0-2, opponents are 5 for 15 with a homer. They have an 867 OPS. It's a small sample, but opponents are hitting over 330.
And it's inexcusable.
Against him.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if it's inexcusable. I think it's just simply like this guy doesn't have a pitch in his arsenal right now that he can go to is that put-away pitch, that kill pitch for him right now. And I think he needs to go through the process of finding that pitch on 0-2. I will say I talked to Walker Buehler with the Boston Red Sox about this, the former LA Dodger, when he was coming back from his second Tommy John surgery. But he said, like, the most frustrating thing was, number one, feeling the ball off your fingertips. Number two, not having that put-away pitch. He always had that sweeper to go to, Buehler did. Always had that slider, and that's how he struck out 16 in a game. And he just didn't have that when he came back from Tommy John surgery, and he needed to find another. Is it going to be the four-seamer? Nope. The cutter? Nope. The slider? Well, it depends on the day. So I think Sandy is fighting these normal human things off of a major elbow surgery, but the sooner he finds that put-away pitch up 0-2, I think the better off Sandy will be.
Well, we're excited to see Sandy Alcantara here tonight face off against the Dodgers. Again, we could look at it both ways. I know for Sandy, he's chomping at the bit to get out there and just to get some revenge on these Dodgers. Offensively, Jack, we got some awesome news this afternoon. Kyle Stowers, NL Player of the Week. He was awesome. 4 home runs, 10 RBIs. The big moment on Saturday with the Grand Slam. First positional player since Starling Marte to win the award.
Yeah, and what, first Sandy was the last pitcher to do it. That was in 2022. Stowers has had, I would call it an out-of-body experience, but it just seems like his swing is right now, and it resulted in a couple of multi-homer days, right? He had that multi-homer day in L.A. Unfortunately, it was in a loss, and then that all-time game. We were just talking with Eric Wagman. By the way, that episode of Side Sessions will be live in the next few days. We were just talking with Eric Wagman, and you asked him, like, moment of the year for the team, and he was like, hard to argue with what just happened 2 days ago.
And there's been a lot of good moments. Like you said, the opening day was awesome. To be the runaway, I mean, maybe recency bias, but dang.
Amazing. And Wagman then followed up and said, I wouldn't be pitching to Kyle Stowers in the 9th inning anytime soon. And you know what? I agree with Kyle. It's such a deserved honor for him, and there are a lot of good players in the National League every single week. The fact that he was the best I mean, credit to him and hat off to him. I know he got a great FaceTime call from his brother who actually works with our friends at Lone Depot. Just so cool that Kyle was able to get that news from Big Bro.
All right, you ready to do this again, man?
I think so. Let's do it.
Good way to start our week. Good way to start your week. Thanks for hanging out with us. Marlins on deck. That's Jack McMullen. You'll hear Jack and Rod at 6:40. We'll break here. Expo question, Steve's guarantee. Then we'll play some baseball. Game 1, Dodgers-Marlins, right here on the Marlins Radio Network.
Out of the bullpen in a couple of games, Mariners were thinking, hey, maybe he can be a bullpen piece for us as Ramirez charges one out to left center field and deep. That thing is back, and it's gone. Agustin Ramirez, his second big league homer, and this guy's unbelievable start continues.
Slug of 1-1-2-5, hits one in the air deep to left field, and going nowhere is Arozarena as he looks up, and it's gone. Goodbye, home run. Ramirez has done it again. Arozarena just stood there. He moved 1 foot and stopped as Ramirez this time goes to left field for his third homer and second of the game.
I'm excited. I feel great, my goals right here is to stay in big league, and I want to try everything for that.
Where does your confidence come from?
Demasiado confiado. Yo digo que trabajé de bastante para esto. Vamos a seguir dando lo mejor y tirando para adelante para darle la victoria al equipo, ayudarlo como sea.
Yeah, I got a lot of trust. I've been working a lot on my game, and I trust on that part. I want to continue working really hard and just give those victories to my team.
How much fun are you having right now?
Que ni me lo crea. A veces veo el estadio y digo, en serio, estoy en Grandes Ligas.
Sometimes I don't believe it. I look at the stadium and I say, I'm in the big leagues.
Tell me what was working with you and Edward Cabrera today.
No, seguí el plan, atacar con el plan, trabajar los picheos, y eso fue lo que hicimos.
Just follow the plan, just work on those pitches, and that's actually what we did.
Yep. It felt like that was a chess match, and Thornton ended up winning it. But here goes Connor Norby out to left center and deep, and it's a one-run game. Connor Norby's first homer of the
Great to have you aboard on a Monday night. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, Rod Allen, live from Lone Depot Park, 6:40 first pitch. It'll be Sandy Alcantara who toes the rubber going opposite Jack Dreyer, who will open for the Los Angeles Dodgers here tonight. These two met just a week ago. The Dodgers swept the Marlins out of town Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now Miami trying to cook up a little revenge with Sandy on the mound here tonight. This will be the last of 3 before Miami heads out to the Chi. They will face off against the Cubs and the White Sox. But tonight, with the recent news of Kyle Stowers being named National League Player of the Week, again, congratulations to him. Him and his offense are looking to get this thing in the right direction. Let's get to our at Marlins Radio Expo question. Who was the last positional player for the Marlins to win National League Player of the Week? Positional player. Don't say Sandy. Positional player. It's time for Steve's Guarantee.
Batter up. Batter up.
Let's play some ball.
First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's Guarantees.
We're calling Connor Norby out here tonight. 2+ hits, batting 5th in DH. And Clayton said earlier in his media availability that he felt like he was jumpy, maybe pressing a little bit in the beginning after he was activated off the IL with that oblique injury. Wants him to continue to get back in the groove. I like Connor Norby to break out not only tonight, but throughout this series. It's only a matter of time for Norby. 2+ hits tonight against the Dodgers. Folks, I hope you got the itch for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. Rod Allen, he's ready to rock. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins On Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami. Marlins baseball is next. This is the Marlins Radio Network.